Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So we're in our AV-8B and today we're going to be dropping GBU's laser guided bombs. So before we get anywhere, let's arm up. So our arming screen here, we can carry several of them. On pylon 3 and 5 we can carry bombs. We've got a choice of GBU 12s or GBU 16s. GBU 12s are essentially Mark 82 slick bombs with a guidance and sensing gear to turn it into a GBU. So it's a 500-pound bomb with a 250-pound warhead. GBU 16 is the same but for Mark 83, so that's 1,000-pound, 500-pound warhead. So just to keep things, you can have in the flavours of 2 or you can have 3 per pylon, but just to keep things simple, why don't we just go for GBU 12 and let's just see what we can have on pylons 6 and 1 as well. Exactly the same on pylon 2 and 6 and on pylon 1. We cannot have... Oh yes, we can have a single GBU 12. So let's arm that up.
Request rearming.
While that's arming up, let's have a quick talk about how it works. So these bombs they don't fire the targeting laser themselves. They're essentially passive. They look for a targeting laser and guide themselves to that targeting laser. That targeting laser has to come from a third party. It can be, and it will be in this case, a targeting pod that we've got attached to the bottom of our aircraft, or we will attach it, sorry. It could come from a different airplane, that would be called buddy lasing, another Harrier with a targeting pod, an A-10C with a targeting pod. It could come from a drone with a targeting laser. It could come from a ground-equipped JTAC vehicle that would be doing a targeting laser. And that third-party laser would strike a target on the ground. The laser would reflect and splash upwards. The bombs, which I can't see here, but they've got a sensor in the front which picks up on that splash laser and guides to the end of the laser. Simple as that, really. Otherwise, the actual bomb drop and the setting up of the bomb is pretty much the same as a normal unguided bomb. Now, obviously, I was being stupid and forgot to attach my targeting pod, which we will need. It's the lightning pod.
Request rearming.
The lightning pod's pretty hardcore targeting pod. We're just going to use it for locating and lasing today. What we can do is get on with arming our bomb and setting our bombs up. Menu, stores, we're going to select our GBU 12. So, same as setting up unguided bombs, we can drop it in any mode we want. Auto, CCIP or manual. And we're going to go on auto just because. Fuse, we can have tail in, delay 1 and delay 2, and we'll just have tail instant. We'll drop, one bomb at a time and multiple of 1. So it's just 1 bomb per button press, basically.
Rearming complete.
Okay, we've got our targeting pod equipped now. So let's look at the buttons that we're going to be using. To drop the bomb, we've got bomb pickle, and we'll hold our finger on that for a second or so to drop the bomb. We are going to use our center select down here to choose our LST screen, which we'll go through in a bit. We've got our TDC left, right, up and down that we'll need. We may not need this, but just in case we need to clear a target, in case we designate the wrong target or something, with AG target undesignate that we can use. Other than that, I believe we're good to go. So I'm going to get airborne. I'll report when we're in the air and we'll go and bomb some targets. Okay, we're now airborne and we've identified a column of tanks that need destroying on that road. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to set myself level so I don't have to worry about the plane. Let's get the AFC on and the altitude hold. So the first thing to explain is we're going to be lasing a targeting laser. Now, in reality, there might be several targeting lasers in the battlefield. You may have A-10s over there sending a laser down. You may have a JTAC vehicle over there lasing. And what we don't want them to do is conflict with one another. So what happens is each targeting laser has a specified code associated with that laser. And when we set up our bombs, we also set our bombs up so they are coded with the same code so that they'll track that particular laser. So the next thing we're going to do is set up our laser code for our targeting laser and for our bombs. So we're going to unpause. We're going to go center select aft, and it puts us into the LST screen here. Now we've got the laser code here. It's currently boxed. We're going to click it to unbox it and click it again to rebox it. And now we're going to type in our code. Now we've chosen a code of 1588 in this case. Enter. And that's now selected the code of 1588 for our bombs and for our particular laser. Now the next thing we want to do is get our targeting pod set up. So we're going to unpause. We're going to go to menu. We're going to go to T-pod. We're going to turn TDC on, so we have control of the T-pod. We're going to turn standby off. The T-pod is now active. We are going to, just in case we forget to do it later, we're going to arm it now, so it's currently safe and it's now armed. So the T-pod works. If we have a look at the outside of the bird, we can see essentially a camera. The T-pod is on the center line of the aircraft. It's got a swiveling 360 degrees swivel camera on the front there, and it's currently locked to the bore sight of the aircraft, meaning it's basically aiming wherever I aim the aircraft, and it's represented by this octagon with a dot in it here. So wherever I aim the aircraft, this octagon will follow me. So what we want to do, and we can see where the octagon is. We can see a TV version of that here, what the camera is seeing. So what we're going to do is fly out for a bit, a decent good few miles, so we've got plenty of time to find the target. We're then going to head back into the target. We're going to visually fly so that we get this octagon over here and we place it on the target so that we can see the target through this TV camera here. At that point, we're going to lock the octagon or the T-pod to the ground, so it's no longer locked to the bore sight of the plane, it's then locked to the ground. We're going to do that by pressing TDC aft, and then we'll take it from there. So let's fly out a little further. Whoops, let's turn off our autopilot. Yep. And get a good few miles to do this, so you get plenty of time to do the targeting of the targets. We can zoom in. We've got a nice zoom function on here, so we can go a good kind of 8 miles away or something like that. Okay, I'm going to turn in now. I think that should be enough. We've got some speed up. Look over our shoulder. The target is somewhere on that road there. I'm going to reduce the speed. So what we're going to do here now is a targeting run. So to give us plenty of time to target and not rush us, we're going to first head in now, and we're just going to use this attack run just to get our targeting set up. Then we'll head probably out to sea and then come back for a secondary run, which will be our actual bombing run. And for this targeting run, we can go, assuming there are no obvious dangers, we can go quite slow to give us the maximum amount of time possible. Now zoom in, try and find the target visually. There they are, I see them. So we're going to maneuver our T-pod octagon onto them and stop there. What we should be able to see is the target. Whoopsie, I've got the wrong place. Let's try again. Where are they? Oops, they're over to the right. My bad. Let's try that again. And how about there then? There they are. Right, nice and fixed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to level out my plane. I'm going to press TDC aft to lock the camera in position. So, okay. Now you can see that it's locked the camera in position, but it's changed to the LST screen. I believe this is a bug with the current build of the Harrier, so you can probably ignore this bit, because by the time you're watching this video, it will probably already be fixed. But just to sort it out, in the meantime, all I'm going to do is press menu and reactivate my T-pod, and there we go. So that probably won't be a thing you have to do when you do this. Okay, so you can see our T-pod is now locked to the ground there, so I could maneuver the aircraft anywhere I want, any attitude, any speed, whatever. The T-pod is now locked to that position there. I can also now slew the T-pod left, right, up and down with the TDC left, right, up and down commands. We've also got a series of commands that we can use regards to T-pod here. Now we're not going to go through them because this isn't a T-pod video, but there are some we probably want. Zoom in, zoom out, and it's due to the bug, it's put itself in flare mode, which is night mode, so we're just going to turn that off quickly. And we're going to zoom in a bit. Now I'm going to use my TDC slew to get it on a target. So what I can do, I keep pausing it just to give myself plenty of talking time. I'm going to turn my automatic flight control on. Let me just get myself level. Whoops. There. I'm going to turn auto altitude hold, so I can just worry about this now. So we're going over a targeting pass now, and that's going to give us plenty of time to get this bang on. Now the T-pod won't snap to a vehicle as such. It will go wherever you put it, and it seems to be a bit buggy at the moment, so let's try getting this guy here. There we go. So it's not locking onto a target like, for instance, a Maverick will. Instead, it's just locking to the exact position I put it. So what I'll do is I like to do my overfly now, and I'm going to adjust my TDC to make sure that we get it bang on the target, because like I said, it won't actually detect that target. So we're going to keep going for the overfly. As long as we pass over this vehicle, we've got our cross constantly on the centre of it, we can be pretty damn sure that we're on target.
Landing gear. Landing
Whoops!
gear.
Too slow. Silly gap.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Okay. Yeah, pretty happy about that now. Okay, you can see we're flying over him here. So that's set a target point on the ground. The next thing we want to do is air-to-ground mode, master arm on. Now, the important thing is we can see that we now have a distance to the target. There is a target selected on the ground, and it's 0.5 miles away from us. Now, we want to head out now and get a good 5 miles away from that target. So stand by as I go and get some distance for our bomb run. Okay, we're 5 miles away from the target now. We're going to turn in back to the target. To find our way to the target, we've got an arrow here that points towards the target, so it's currently behind us, obviously. That'll soon slew to the left. Regards speed, about 400 knots. It's not too important. Regards altitude, I like to say above 5,000 feet, and there's no real limit. We can go as high as we want, but we'll go to 5,000 feet. Why not? If you're wondering why this image keeps disappearing, it's because that camera happens to be facing through our wing at that point, and it obviously cannot see through our wing. But it will remember, it saves in memory the location of the target, so that won't be a problem. And there is our target all highlighted and ready for us. So what we want to do now, we've got the target there and we've got our auto plumb line there. We want to fly our aircraft so it's perfectly centered at that plumb line there. So that's what we're going to do, and maintain about 5,000 feet altitude. As we head in, we're going to count down. In fact, the countdown started 51 seconds. That will count down to our release point. We want to start holding the bomb pickle button at about 7 seconds and hold it all the way until the computer decides to drop the bombs. And that should be a decent drop so that the bombs can get a fix on that laser and hit the target. We also need to actually fire our laser. We can confirm that we've got the right laser code here, 1588. Now, to fire the laser, we'll only do that when we're on our ingress, which we're doing now basically. First thing we're going to do is turn this from training to laser. We've got either training, marker, or laser, and we've got laser selected now, and you can see because we've got the L selected down here, and press fire to actually fire the laser. Now, because we've got a flashing L, we are firing a laser at that target. Right, now we need to concentrate and get onto our line and get ready to drop the bombs. Gone a little bit lower than 5,000 feet, but I think that's okay. Right, so let's try and get leveled out now. So we want to get our path marker, which is this circle here, onto that line and keep it on that line if possible. We're now 17 seconds in the countdown. 13 seconds. 8 seconds. 7. Hold the bomb pickle. That line will drop from top to bottom shortly. And keep holding, and the bomb has dropped. Right, I'm going to trim out now, and then we're going to go check that that bomb has found the laser. Okay, you can see by the way that it's moving that it's found the laser and it's tracking towards its target. Boomie! We got him. You saw that it was ever so slightly off there. That was just me doing bad targeting, okay? So next we're going to go around and do another drop. So we're going to get 5 miles away from the target again and then turn back in. Okay, we're 5 miles away. We're Angels 5 again, so we're going to turn back in. Right, what we're going to do is select another target that's near to our target. So we're going to zoom in. You'll notice it's saved the position, the target point has been saved, so we don't have to find the target from scratch again. Going to zoom in, sorry. We're going to go and find a new target. That's there. Now what I'm going to quickly do, I like to run over the target as a targeting pass, just to make sure we've got that bang on. So let's go over him now. In fact, we can probably adjust it on the fly. So let's turn into the target now. "13 seconds to drop. Tiny bit of adjustment. "4 seconds. I'm holding now. It might be a bit late. Let's try it. Bomb's going to drop. Retrim. And let's hopefully she'll track. Lovely, good hit. Right, so all we've got to do now is turn off our laser. and put our T-pod back to standby. We're out of bombs now, so we're going RTB. Everything back to standard. And we can go home. So I hope that was a relatively decent example of how to use the T-pod to laze and to drop GBUs. In fact, there's one other thing I quickly wanted to show because it's bugged me loads of times and I thought I'd better show y'all, is if I put my target pod back on. So it's now caged to my bullseye again up here, and I'm now going to go and choose a target. I don't know, that little lake down there. It doesn't really matter for this example. Stand by. Okay, I've used the TDC slew and it's set to that area there. Now, I've accidentally locked it. I'm pretending that I accidentally locked it there. The target is actually over here. So how do we cancel that? Just in case I didn't show it earlier, we're going to use this button here, AG target undesignate, and we're going to click that. And you can see what it does is it cancels that target and returns it back to your bullseye. So like I said, I've had loads of problems doing that in the past, so that's how you do that. Right, I hope that helps, and see you later.